Hi, in this video we will learn about Docker. So in short, Docker is a tool that is used to run the applications inside the containers. The container is a lightweight isolated environment. It's like a mini computer, but it's much faster than a VM. And VM contains its own operating system, its own kernel and other resources. Whereas container shares some of the underlying host machine resources like kernel and few other resources. Now let's get into the demo. Alright, let's start the Docker. I have Docker Desktop installed in my local, so I'm starting it. Okay, Docker Desktop is started. Now let's see the Docker version, Docker space hyphen hyphen version. We can use to see the Docker version. As you can see, 28.0.4 version I'm using. Now to see the images that are there in my machine where Docker is running, I can use command like Docker images or Docker image ls. These two commands can be used to list down the images. Similarly, to see the containers that are running, we can use docker ps or docker ps hyphen a to list down the daemon containers. So daemon containers nothing but the containers that are in exited state. So as you can see, minikube container I have. So this minikube container I generally use to run my Kubernetes cluster in my local for my Kubernetes related work. So I'm clearing screen now. Okay, let's start with creating a container. So to create a container, we need an image, and from that image, we can create a container. So there are two commands that we can use. One is docker run. Docker run command can be used to pull the image from the Docker registry and then create a container out of it. And there is another command to pull the image explicitly. We can use docker pull command. So let's try with docker run. So I want to run a simple nginx container, something like this. So whenever we want to run any container, so the image gets pulled from the docker registry or any other private registry that we provide in the configuration. So since I have not provided any registry configuration, it will generally pull the image from the public docker hub registry. So let's go to the public docker hub docker registry. We can use this, and this is the official public docker hub registry where we can see all the images that are there for free to use. So let's search for nginx. So okay, I have this nginx image and there are a few other images are there. So let's click on it and you will see the tags as well. So for this image we have several tags. Each tag signifies the specific version of that image. So based on the tag we can pull specific version of the image. So okay, let's pull this nginx latest version. We can provide colon latest, or even if we leave it like this, it will be pulling the latest image from the docker hub registry. And before that I want to give hyphen t to give a terminal and hyphen d to run in the background. Generally in the real time we run it in the detached mode so that it will run the application or the container in the background. Now hyphen p for port forwarding. Generally like the nginx web application runs on port 80. So I want to forward traffic from port 80 to 80. So this is my host port and this is my container port. So whatever the traffic that comes to my underlying host on port 80 will be like forwarded to the port 80 on the container. So this is how we can provide. If I hit enter, it is saying unable to find the image locally, and it is pulling that image from the public docker registry. So it is downloading the image as you can see, and after that it will create the container. Okay, so as you can see, this is my image SHA. It is downloaded the latest version, and if you see docker images, nginx image is pulled, the version is latest because we did not give any version to it. Now if we see the container docker ps, this is my container id and image. If we want to give any name to our container, we can also give the name to our container as well. So 25 seconds ago it is created, and whatever the traffic that is coming on port 80 from anywhere in the network, it is forwarding it to the port 80 of the container. Now if we want to stop this container, docker stop container id we can use. So docker ps, if we use this command, it will not give any containers, but to list down the daemon containers, we have to use -a flag. Okay, I can see this is in exited state. Now to delete this container, docker rm or container id, it will delete the container. Now say for example I want to delete the image, so for that I have to use docker rmi my image name or image id, whatever, we can give both. So let's give this one, so it will delete my image as well. So one more thing, like while the container is in running state, we cannot delete that container. We have to stop that container, then only we'll be able to delete it. And for example, like I want to download the image without creating a container, so what can I do? I can use docker pull our image name nginx colon latest. So instead of nginx, let's pull another image. So I'll try to pull ubuntu search. Okay, we have got this ubuntu. Now these are all the tags that we have. If we go to tag section, we will see all the tags that we can use, and image overview, what kind of libraries that it has and everything. So based on the tag that we can use, so you can see latest and plucky or 25.04, something like that we can use. And let me use latest for now. So ubuntu. Okay, so it is downloading the image from the public docker registry. Let's list down the docker images. You can see this is the image that I have pulled now. Let's remove it, docker rmi, and this one, there you go. And there is also another command called docker exec. This command generally used for troubleshooting purposes, but if you want to connect to a container, we have to use docker attach. So docker attach will let you to connect to that container, so that your session will be in that container. You can execute whatever the commands that you want, similarly like the way we are executing commands in our terminal. But docker exec, it will run the commands inside the container directly without connecting to it. That's all for this session. Thanks for watching.